Imagine waking up on a cruise ship, sunlight filtering through thin curtains, the gentle hum of engines beneath your feet, the ocean stretching endlessly beyond the balcony. Everything feels calm, safe, routine, and then you hear a knock on the door. Crew members asking questions. Confusion in the hallway. Someone is missing. No screams. No struggle. No witnesses. Just an empty bed and a mystery that would haunt investigators, families, and the sea itself for years. Welcome to Disappeared at Sea, where we uncover the most chilling cruise ship disappearance cases ever recorded. These are not urban legends. These are real people who boarded massive floating cities expecting rest, romance, or celebration, and were never seen again. Every year, millions of passengers step onto cruise ships believing they are among the safest ways to travel. High railings, security cameras, crew everywhere, the illusion of control. But beneath that polished surface lies a darker truth, one the cruise industry rarely wants discussed. Because when someone disappears at sea, the ocean doesn't just hide bodies, it erases answers. Today, we're diving deep into real cruise ship disappearance cases, stories that will force you to question how someone can vanish from a ship carrying thousands of people without anyone noticing. From passengers who disappeared overnight while sleeping, to honeymooners who vanished during what should have been the happiest days of their lives. These stories will stay with you long after the video ends. These aren't statistics. These are sons, daughters, newlyweds, friends, crew members, lives interrupted mid-journey, swallowed by open water. So take a moment. Lock your door if you're watching this at night, because once you understand how these disappearances happen, you'll never look at cruise ships the same way again. One of the most disturbing aspects of cruise ship disappearances is how quietly they happen. No chaos, no alarm bells, no dramatic moments caught on camera. In many cases, someone goes to sleep and by morning, they are simply gone. The cruise ship disappearance overnight phenomenon is far more common than most passengers realize. Ships operate like self-contained cities, but unlike cities on land, there are no streets to search, no traffic cameras to rewind endlessly, no borders to close. Picture this: a ship carrying over 3,000 passengers, sailing through open ocean under the cover of darkness. Lights dim, music fades, hallways empty, and somewhere between midnight and sunrise, a person vanishes. No one notices. No one hears anything. By the time anyone realizes something is wrong, hours have passed, and the ship is hundreds of miles away. Few cases capture this nightmare more vividly than the disappearance of Amy Bradley. Amy Bradley was just 23 years old when she vanished from a Royal Caribbean cruise ship in 1998. She was traveling with her family through the Caribbean, celebrating life, enjoying music, laughter, and warm ocean air. On the night she disappeared, Amy had been dancing at the ship's nightclub. In the early hours of the morning, her father saw her sleeping on the balcony of their cabin. She was safe. She was alive. She was right there. By morning, Amy Bradley was gone. Her shoes were still in the cabin, her cigarettes untouched. No signs of a struggle, no witnesses, no alarms triggered. It was as if she had stood up, taken one final step, and disappeared into nothing. This is what makes cruise ship disappearance cases so terrifying. A cruise ship is a confined space, surrounded by water, monitored by cameras. Yet someone can vanish completely without leaving behind a single definitive clue. Investigators considered every possibility: accident, foul play, human trafficking. Sightings were reported years later in different countries, keeping hope alive for her family. But decades later, the truth remains hidden, and Amy's case is far from unique. Many cruise ship disappearance cases involve passengers who disappeared while sleeping. People who went to bed normally, expecting breakfast the next morning, only to never be seen again. Their roommates often wake up, assuming they went for an early walk or coffee, unaware that time is already working against them. Hours matter at sea. Take the case of Rebecca Coriam, a young crew member working aboard a Disney cruise ship. Rebecca disappeared in 2011. Unlike passengers, crew members know the ship's layout intimately. They understand safety protocols. They know where cameras are and where they aren't. The last known footage of Rebecca shows her on a phone call, visibly distressed, pacing near the crew deck early in the morning. She ends the call, walks out of frame, and is never seen again. By sunrise, Rebecca had vanished. Despite extensive searches, no body was recovered. No conclusive explanation was ever given. Her disappearance became another haunting example of how even experienced crew members can vanish at sea without answers. If someone who knows every inch of a ship can disappear without explanation, what chance does an ordinary passenger have? Security footage in many cruise ship disappearance cases tells a disturbing story. Cameras show individuals entering their cabins, walking down hallways, standing on decks. But the moment they disappear, that moment is almost always missing. Blind spots exist. Cameras malfunction. Footage is overwritten, and sometimes cameras simply don't cover the right angle at the right time. It creates the illusion that people don't fall or jump or get pushed. They simply fade out of existence. Some of the most heartbreaking cases involve honeymoon cruise ship disappearances. George Smith IV boarded a Royal Caribbean cruise ship in 2005 with his new wife, Jennifer. It was supposed to be a celebration of love, laughter, late nights, champagne, memories that would last a lifetime. Instead, George disappeared just days into the voyage. Witnesses reported heavy drinking, arguments, strangers helping George back to his cabin in the early hours of the morning. By sunrise, he was gone. Blood was later discovered on the lifeboat deck below their cabin balcony. Investigators believe George disappeared sometime between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. His wife was asleep or unconscious during that time. No one heard anything. No one saw anything. The cruise ship had already moved far from the possible location by the time the alarm was raised. For families, this delay is devastating. Cruise ships do not immediately stop when someone is reported missing. Hours can pass before searches begin. And once someone goes overboard, survival chances drop rapidly. Ocean currents scatter evidence. Waves erase footprints. Darkness conceals everything. Daniel Belling's disappearance in 2004 adds another layer of mystery. Traveling with friends, Daniel was last known to be in his cabin. When his friends checked on him, the room was empty. No struggle, no broken door, nothing out of place. The door was reportedly locked from the inside. Cases like this spark endless theories. Did he leave voluntarily? Was someone else involved? Or did something happen that defies explanation? Statistics paint a grim picture. Since the mid-1990s, roughly 165 people have gone missing from cruise ships. That's an average of 8 disappearances every year. And those are only the documented cases. Each disappearance represents a family trapped in limbo, unable to grieve properly, unable to move on, because there is no certainty, no body, no explanation, just questions. Patterns emerge when you study real cruise ship disappearance stories closely. Most happen late at night or early in the morning. Alcohol is often involved. Railings may be higher than safety regulations require, but climbing accidents still occur. And in rare cases, foul play cannot be ruled out. Merrian Carver's disappearance shows how easily cruise lines can overlook missing passengers. She vanished from a celebrity cruise ship in 2004. Crew members assumed she disembarked at a port. Her cabin was cleaned, reassigned, evidence destroyed. It wasn't until the ship returned home that anyone realized Merrian was gone. This highlights a chilling reality. Cruise ships are designed for efficiency, not investigations. Once someone is lost at sea, the classification often becomes lost overboard, a phrase that closes cases without providing answers. For families, that label offers no peace. Some experts argue many disappearances are tragic accidents. Others believe the isolated nature of ships creates opportunities for crime. The truth likely lies somewhere in between. What's undeniable is this: the ocean is the perfect accomplice. It keeps secrets better than any locked room ever could. Surveillance footage degrades, witness memories fade, water destroys evidence, and time erases leads. Families wait, hope, grieve, wonder. Decades later, Amy Bradley's family still receives reported sightings, a cruel reminder that uncertainty can be worse than loss. Cruise lines have improved safety measures over the years. More cameras, better railings, passenger tracking systems. But perfection remains impossible on a moving vessel carrying thousands of people across international waters. The unsolved cruise ship disappearance cases continue to grow quiet. Stories buried beneath brochures, promising luxury and escape. These stories remind us that even the most beautiful journeys can carry hidden dangers. The sea is vast. It is indifferent, and once it takes something, it rarely gives it back. If these real cruise ship disappearance stories unsettled you, you're not alone. Hit the like button if this made you think twice about safety at sea. Share this video with anyone planning a cruise vacation. Leave a comment with your theories: accident, foul play, or something else entirely. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most haunting true crime mysteries. Until next time, stay alert, because the ocean may be beautiful, but it never gives up its secrets easily.